Most advice you hear on improving your website's conversion rate simply won't work. And the reason being is that most of the advice you will find in blogs and videos is completely generic and it doesn't take into account your specific target audience and your particular business. For example, the principle of social proof and showing how many of your product or service you've sold can work for some particular target audiences. But if you're selling to high net worth individuals, for example, who actually value things that other people don't have, it can actually have the negative effect by telling them how many tens of thousands of your particular product or service you've sold. So just blindly following this advice can be extremely damaging. And that's why in this video, I'm going to be showing you some things you can do to learn more about your specific customers and what they are looking for, the things that are important to them. That's going to help you reliably increase your conversion rate over time. So I genuinely believe one of the most powerful things you can do to start learning more about your customers, their desires, their pain points, their concerns, and then subsequently making changes to your website to help increase the conversions is by running audience surveys. Now, there's a number of tools you can use to do this. There are platforms like Cervicate. You can even use platforms like Hotjar or Lucky Orange to run visitor surveys. We're using a platform called ConvertBox here, which can be used for lead gen widgets, but it can also be used for visitor surveys to gather data. So you'll see here, this is a pet supplement brand where we're asking people if they're currently using supplements to understand the people coming through to the website, what stage are they at? What level of sophistication are they at? Because trying to sell something to somebody who's never used this product before is going to be very different to selling to somebody who is very familiar with the product. Another great thing about this is that you can also segment these by specific traffic sources. That way, if you've got people coming through to your website who you know are maybe existing customers, you've got a lot of brand awareness, so people already know the brand, and you want to test a particular channel, for example, let's say you've got a new Meta ads campaign up and running, you can actually filter these surveys by specific campaigns using UTM parameters. That way, you can get an understanding of your different customer cohorts, your different audience segments, and then you can have dedicated landing pages that address the specific needs of those specific customers across your different platforms and different targeting stacks. This is incredibly powerful to making sure that you deliver a tailored experience to your different audience segments and therefore can increase the overall conversions from your site. Here's another example here from a company that sells courses on data science. And the way in which we use this is we were looking to improve the conversion rate on the sign up page on this website. So we simply ask the question, which of these best describes you? And you'll see here, we've got a huge majority of the audience that have said they're just thinking about getting into data science, right? So they're not currently applying for jobs. They're not in an existing career. So we then know the kind of language we need to speak to them in. If they're on the very early stages, the copy we use on the website, the kind of headlines we use is going to be very, very different for somebody who's just thinking about getting into it in the early stages compared to somebody who's already in that role and they're looking to progress their career. The next thing you can do is have a look in your Google Analytics or whatever website analytics platform you're using and look at some of the most visited pages on your website to try and get a gauge of what matters most to people. You can then also take this a layer further by then analyzing the actual average engagement time per visitor. So you can really start to see which blogs, which topics seem to be resonating the most with our visitors. And then to go a layer deeper there, what you can also do is by installing some heat mapping or session recording software on your website. If you don't already have this set up, Microsoft Clarity is a great place to start because you can track unlimited visitors and it's completely free of charge to make an account here. You can then analyze these key pages and look for the specific sections on these pages where people are spending the most time? Where is the most attention going and where's the least attention going? So you then start to get a picture of what actually matters to people and what doesn't. You can then also begin making changes to these pages on your website in accordance with what you're seeing. You can even look at things like scroll maps, for example. So this will show you on average how far people are actually getting down your website. So we can see here, by this point, we've already lost 15% of visitors. So we then know to think, okay, where is that biggest area of drop off that we're seeing? And then what do we need to change here? What are or aren't people seeing? Right. And then again, when you combine both of these using the visitor surveys and then this more qualitative data from platforms like Microsoft Clarity or Hotjar, and we repeat this in a cycle, we can really begin to get these amazing insights and start improving the website over time to not only improve overall engagement, but also help us bump up our conversions. Another extremely underutilized tactic for understanding your customers better and how you can really stand out is by looking at either product reviews if you're selling products, or if you're in a service-based business, just looking up books that relate to the specific product service offering that you sell, and look at some of the 1-star reviews and reading what is it about this book? What didn't they find that they wanted to find? The reason you want to look at the 1 and 5-star in particular is because that's where people are going to be the most emotive and the most expressive and have something to say that you can actually learn from. The 5-star reviews, you can begin to understand what are the desires, what are the things that they liked about this, what have they found in this book that they haven't been able to find elsewhere, or this product that they haven't been able to find elsewhere. Same thing when it comes to the 1-star. You can start to find out what are their struggles, what disappointed them about this book. And then you then know on your website, on your landing pages, in your marketing materials, to the people who have been burned, to the expectations that people had that so far haven't been met. Because these are all the things when people land on your website, when they see your ad, they are thinking to themselves, oh, it's another one of these. I've heard this all before. So if you can start finding these objections and addressing them head on, it's going to put you in such an elevated position and get people thinking that maybe you are different, which is going to give you a far higher chance of then converting that visitor. Another great place for audience research here is platforms like Reddit, right? So again, you can just search for whatever topic, whatever product, whatever niche you are operating in, and just look at some of the comments and the threads and see the discussions that people are having. You can get some amazing insights from Reddit forums. You have such detailed answers where you will really be able to find these incredible insights of what are those concerns that people don't usually speak about. And the reason Reddit in particular is such a great platform, because it's fairly anonymous, as opposed to like social media platforms where people have got their face all over these things. Reddit is an anonymous platform, and with its karma-based system, it actually encourages these really engaging comments. And because of the anonymous nature of it, people feel okay with spilling their heart and soul on things. So they would talk about things that they might not otherwise share. And this can put you in such a great position to really learning about those otherwise unspoken fears, doubts, or concerns, or even desires that your customers might have. There are so few businesses that actually take the time to really step into their customers' world and understand their fears, their doubts, their desires and concerns. If you do this, it will put you in such a phenomenal position to be able to stand out from your competition, to craft marketing messaging that cuts through the noise, and to start increasing your conversions over time without following this generic BS advice, which doesn't take into account your specific target audience. And in this next video coming up now, I'm going to be showing you how to use all of these insights and turn them into an irresistible offer on your website or landing page that your customers can't refuse. I'll see you there.